Hey guys, we're back. And this panel again is talking about the crossover, the intersection of sports, music, and entertainment in gaming. So I'm gonna start to my right, and if you could just introduce yourself and just give everybody a little bit about what you do.
I am Natasha Jones, and I lead events, experiences, and marketing. And I do that in a couple of ways. One is with Amazon Music as the senior events and experiential manager for artist content. And also with my own company, Run Girl. We're a digital media and events platform for Black women runners.
Love that.
Is this on? Hey, y'all. My name is Ambre. I work for an agency called Creative Artist Agency, and I lead our social impact division. So we work with athletes, creators, musicians, culinary people, podcasters, digital media folks, and we help them find ways to scale their craft and make more money.
Hi, everybody. I'm Keisha Boyd. I am Vice President of Entertainment Emerging Products at Comcast Xfinity. I'm excited to be here with you all today and have this great chat with the panel. My job is, easiest way to describe it is, I get to focus on the parts of entertainment that go beyond movies and TV shows. So I get to think about what else do you all use to define what entertains you, like gaming, for example, or shopping, and all those sorts of fun pieces. So excited to be here.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? My name is Max Levazour. I am currently a talent acquisition professional. My goal is to match people with their dream jobs and teach the youth about how you can break into industries that's hard to break into, like gaming.
Awesome. So let's jump right in. So the esports arenas are selling out like major sports stadiums, like this. So do you think esports could someday outshine traditional sports in terms of just entertainment value?
Yeah, I believe that esports will get there because this generation has a connection with esports. Not the same connection that our generation had with traditional sports, but I believe one day that it will get there and be on the same playing field as traditional sports.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the lines between sport and entertainment are becoming so blurred. Esports provide an opportunity for people who are connected to a game or connected to a team from all over the world to come together around a common goal. In real life, you wouldn't be able to, in real time, experience all of the fandom that comes along with a sport, with a fan in another country. So I think it has the potential to create new spaces in the gaming world. Whether it replaces real-life games, I think, is to be determined, but it's certainly something that we're seeing a lot of interest in.
I would agree. I think fandom is a good word that she used, and that's where you're really seeing that crossover between music fans, gaming fans, sports fans. Is those things intersect because it's a part of your culture, it's a part of what you like, and so we're seeing those fandoms intersect, and that's why they're only going to keep growing.
I love that. So what do you think about virtual concerts and games like Fortnite? Do you think that these kinds of events are in the future of like music performances? Do you think that it can go there?
I would say that yes, and, right? I think streaming is what's really taking things to the next level. Streaming provides a level of access for those who can't be in the audience in real life, in real time, you know what I mean? So you're able to watch your favorite artist perform right there in your living room. And I think the gaming aspect is just adding an interactive element, and that's what you're going to want to see more of, is people wanting to be able to interact directly during the shows. How do we scale it? How do we make it cool? How do we gamify it? So,
Yeah, and I would add, I think what's great about entertainment is it can meet you sort of where you are. And I think a lot of companies are starting to pay attention to that, where the consumers are, and delivering entertainment, you know, where they are. So, for example, the example that you gave in terms of concerts inside of, Fortnite or whatever the game might be, that was an example of let's go to where the fan base is and bring them music and a different experience that they might not have consumed before. And it was a hit, right? So I would imagine you'll probably see more of that in the future, and more of, companies, trying to understand how people are consuming, where they're consuming, and looking to bring entertainment to where they are.
Yeah, I think that concerts inside of platforms like Fortnite or Roblox are something we're going to see more of. When Travis Scott did his concert at Fortnite, that was sort of the big aha for a lot of artists, a lot of sponsors, and a lot of venues on, frankly, new ways to make revenue. And so I think as we identify new opportunities for artists, venues, and the streaming platforms to create revenue, we'll see more of it. What I will say is, so those concerts don't replace like the vibe that you get at real concerts, and so you're still going to have what I think is more of a hybrid of artists going on tour traditionally and then also using platforms like Fortnite to connect with audiences in markets where they wouldn't be able to have a tour, where there isn't an arena that they can sell out. So I think we'll see more of a hybrid, and as long as people like you all are interested in attending, the artists are going to continue to do it.
I know my son loved it when it was in Fortnite. Like, he was on time, and he's not even a fan of hip-hop, so, like, that was a shocker to me. He was like, Travis Scott is performing. Like, I kind of heard about it, and then it was more about the connectivity with his friends. And I think that's what Fortnite, Roblox provides. It's like that space where you can hang out with people that you game with and participate in an event together. And sometimes you can't do that in real life.
Agreed. Thank you. So how has the rise of streaming changed the way that people think about both gaming and traditional sports?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it is, understanding that streaming movies and TV shows and all your favorite content is, coming through the same technology that's powering your gaming, right? And I know at Xmmunity, our internet and connectivity is really important for us and paramount for us in terms of delivering fast, reliable internet that helps power all the different types of entertainment that people like to consume. So I think that consumers are smart about, what products and services you need in your home and how you want to consume, what you want to consume, and more of that kind of convergence, right? Bringing together the music, the movies, the TV shows, the gaming, and making it easier for folks to discover what's new, to access what they already love, and, to do it in a way that feels seamless. And I think streaming brings that.
Yeah.
I really like what you said earlier about meeting people where they are, and I think it's really cool from a industry perspective as well, because the layer that streaming adds is a whole new field of jobs, right? Like, if you want to work in sports but maybe you're not athletic yourself, right? You might be a great programmer or a coder or a marketer. That's a new layer of the industry that you could think about getting into, and that streaming sort of opened up a whole nother let's say, portion of the industry that you have to kind of maneuver in.
Yeah, I mean, I like what you said. I think the other side of that coin is streaming creates more access, equity, and visibility into spaces of sport that otherwise you wouldn't be able to watch. I'm a big women's sports fan, specifically basketball, and back in the day, you had to go to a special channel, you had to pay for it, you had to really be a fan of the sport in order to watch it. And now we're entering into a new era of women's sports because of streaming, because it's so accessible. So now you can just go to your phone, go to your iPad, or wherever you watch content and just watch whatever your favorite sport is. And so what that means for the athletes is there's more revenue for them there, right? They can make the case on why they should have the same purse as male athletes. So I think it's great for jobs, but I think it's also great for the athletes who are frankly as good as the male athletes, but didn't always have as many eyes on them when they were playing.
I think it's key for exposure, like y'all are saying. You have it right in the palm of your hand. You can watch it immediately. You can airplay it to something. So there's that accessibility piece where you give the opportunity for new jobs in that market, and there's a lot of streaming platforms. Like back in the day, the key networks, you only had 4 networks. Now you have probably tens of thousands of streamings that you can go and watch your favorite content creator. You can watch whoever your person is and watch whatever sport you want to watch.
Love that. Thank you. So I had a special question come from the audience, and this one is specifically for Keisha Boyd. How are Comcast and Xfinity adapting to the ever-changing entertainment space?
Yeah, well, I think you started to touch on it there, right? For us, it's about understanding our consumers and what defines entertainment for them, right? And, I like to say that we're in a great spot because we not only, develop the content, so whether it's our brands like Peacock or NBC or Universal Studios, but we also deliver the content through our pipes, right? So between the content, the platforms, and our connectivity, we're sort of, finding ways to kind of bring all of that together and maximize what's available to consumers so you can personalize your experience, right? You want to watch movies, you want to watch TV, you want to get into music, you want to create music, you want to connect with other people, you want to game with like a high-performing network, like anything that you want to do. Our job is about how do we understand the consumption habits of consumers and sort of bring that together. We even, there's a part of our content strategy where we focus on, targeted segments, right? So getting an understanding of what youth culture is into, what Black culture is into, Latino culture is into, and delivering content experiences or entertainment that helps to serve that. We launched a channel just a couple years ago called The Black Experience, which was really all about celebrating emerging Black content creators and helping them to create content that we could license that centers Black culture and identity. So again, it's about tapping into what your customers want, what consumers want, and then evolving your portfolio of services and your products to be able to deliver that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, how important is networking in the gaming industry, and what approaches would you recommend for building connections with influential figures?
I think networking is one of the most important things that you can do. Without your network, it shows like your net worth. The people that you meet will in some way, shape, or form, create an opportunity for you sometimes. So your goal is to meet those people, get close to them, and LinkedIn's one way that you can get close to them. Social media is other ways like Instagram, Twitter, and you can just send them a genuine message and be authentic, be your true self when you reach out to them, and they'll probably back out to you.
I would say it's about how you network too, because a lot of people think networking is like getting someone's number and then asking them to help you. And a lot of times, people who are very busy and could actually help you, and maybe they want to help you, they don't have the bandwidth to do that immediately. And so a lot of times it's just about getting to know that person, asking them, what do you have going on? What projects are you working on? I might not be able to help you today, but a month from now when an opportunity comes up, I might remember that person that I've met that works on this particular thing. I can connect them to someone else that I know, et cetera. And so I really think networking is important to every industry, to be clear, not just gaming and streaming. But I think it's about how you network, and it's a little bit of an art to it. You got to finesse a little bit. But I highly recommend just introducing yourself and getting to know someone before you go in for that ask.
Yeah, and I would add plus on all of that. But I think in addition to networking with people who are in positions that you want to be in, network amongst yourselves as well,
Amen.
Right? Like, you all are really the ones that are setting the stage for what's next. So build connections based on your passions with people in your cohort, people in your school, people on your team, people in your neighborhood, because those are the authentic connections that are going to take you through to your career. Like, to this day, the people who I count on the most are the people that I went to high school and college with. Like, those are the deepest relationships that I have because they were built on a shared passion. So I'd say definitely find mentors and coaches and people to help you navigate the industry, but network amongst one another and figure out what you can do together so that you can create something for yourself.
That's right. And the only thing I would add to that is attend events like the one you're at today, right? Make the most of this time that you're here and the people that you're meeting. And then as you start to look at your list, whether it's your peers or individuals in roles that are at other companies that you're interested in meeting, look to see where they might be speaking. Are they going to be on a panel? Show up to that thing so that you're coming to that first, coaching, mentoring conversation with some substance, right? I saw you speak about that thing. It was really interesting. And then you have something to make that LinkedIn introduction, right? That is grounded in a real connection that you made with them.
I love that. I really love when you said that you have to be careful on how you network, because a thin line, it can sound like needing, right, and not networking, and just asking for favors. So I love that. Thank you.
No, and what she was saying about networking across is so important.
That too.
I would say in the history of my career, like, it's definitely been my peers that have supported me the most, and then that gets you in those other places to meet even more people.
And you never know where they're going to end up either, and yourself too. So that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. This is the last question, and this is for someone who loves sports, music, and gaming. What's the best way to turn those passions into a career? I saw the head turn. The head tilt back. That means you're thinking about it.
The best way to turn that into a career is find the avenues that are available. Just because you love sports, music, and gaming doesn't mean there's not opportunities for you to do something in the business department, the HR department, tech, like cybersecurity. There's so many jobs in these industries where you get to work, like marketing, for instance. Like, each of these industries have these facilities and these functions, and you need to find those other jobs, because sometimes you can't be the sports player. Like, I was 5'3" in high school, so I never could imagine becoming a basketball player, but I loved basketball. Yeah. And to see Michael Jordan play when he played with the Wizards, it was just an amazing experience. So, like, those are the things that can get you into those careers, and I think that's how you can do it.
Yeah, and I think it's also about being clear on what it is you bring to the table. What's your secret sauce, right? What's the thing that you do that no matter what job or what role you inhabit, you're going to bring value to that, right? Understand that, and then bring that to whatever industry you're trying to break into. Because whether it's, for example, if you're someone who likes to innovate, you're a strong project manager, you're great with organizational skills, so on and so forth, you're going to package up yourself, right, as a value add to whatever that company is, and then you work your way. Once you get into the company, then you work your way towards the job that you want to get. Your first job might not, most likely will not be, your dream job. Some people have that experience, but most don't. You have to kind of work your way there. And as you're working your way there, you're going to learn what you're great at, what value you bring, what your strengths are, and you'll be able to hone that even more critically, so that then you can start to really spotlight, okay, which job is the thing I really want to go for in gaming. Maybe I'm not the coder, maybe I'm not the fill in the blank, but I can do this really, really well. How does that show up in the gaming industry? I could do this really, really well. How does that show up in music and movies and TV and that kind of thing? Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I think somebody told me one time that your career is what you're made for and your passion is what you're paid for. And so I think sports, gaming, and entertainment, those are categories, right? Those aren't jobs. You have to figure out at the intersection of what you're passionate about, what you can get paid for. And sometimes that's on stage, sometimes that's backstage. Sometimes you can be the artist, sometimes you can be the athlete, sometimes you're the person that's working alongside them, but it's your passion, right? I work with a ton of athletes. I am not an athlete myself, but my job is helping them figure out how they can do amazing things in their community to leave it better than they found it. And that's my passion. It's in sports, but it's not sports related. And so I think the thing that you have to figure out at this stage in your career is what your distinct passion is and the perspective that you have at that intersection that allows you to do your job better than, different than everyone else. And the doors will start to unlock there because you're pursuing your passion and not just a job.
I would say two things, similar to what she was saying, that don't be afraid to go around to get through. I went to undergraduate school for journalism, and I quickly learned that they didn't pay what I thought they were going to pay. And so I moved into marketing. I worked in higher ed, automotive, et cetera, and now I've landed in marketing in the music industry. But ultimately, I focused on each time I found a new job, what part did I like the most about that job, and how can I do more of that? And that helped me move closer and closer to a place where I'm really excited to go to work every day. The other thing I would say is don't be afraid to start something different yourself. I'm an entrepreneur. Me and my 5 fellow co-founders co-founded Run Girl because we saw a gap in the industry. We looked at media and looked at publications about running and things, and we did not see black women on the covers of those magazines and on those media stories. And so we decided to start something ourselves. And I think that's also an avenue. It's not an easy avenue, but I think if it's something you feel passionately about and it doesn't exist, you should also not be afraid to create something new.
Thank you guys so much. This was super informative. Did you guys have a good time? Did you learn something? All right, cool.